Okay, so let's get started officially. I'm very excited to be back. I'm very excited for our guest, Juliana. So just so you know, this is Tuesday Taiki Talks, and almost every Tuesday, I have guests or I speak on different career coaching, career topics, basically. I try to have guests on a couple times a month, and I'm super excited to have Juliana here. Um, as a guest, and Juliana is a recruiter turned career coach with over 50, not 50, goodness gracious, 15
15,
years,
15.
5.
Yes.
15 years of experience in human resources and recruitment in multinational companies and over 9 years working remotely. For almost 4 years, Juliana has managed her own career coaching business and provides services, coaching, consulting, and mentoring to over 350 clients and over 2,700 consulting and coaching sessions. She helps senior professionals to land remote jobs faster, make better career choices, and create the lifestyle that they want. Her background is in psychology with a master's degree in HR. She's also a digital nomad who has been to 56 countries. And she can't resist playing with dogs. I won't tell my dog that. She tries different animal poses and yoga and enjoys acting in comedy improv. So join me and welcome Juliana to the TTT. That's what we call it, TTT. Taiki
Yes.
Talk.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Lori.
Thank
Very nice to
you.
be here.
Yeah. I should say your last name, Juliana Rabbi. Am I saying that correctly, right?
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
Juliana Rabbi.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about how to land a remote job. Now, as you heard, Juliana is an expert in this topic, so I'm super excited to have her with us today. So why don't we go ahead and dive into it? So what led you to focus on helping people land remote jobs?
Was my personal journey, my personal and professional journey. So I was working as a recruiter in a company back in 2013, and there was a massive layoff at the time in different departments. And my manager at the time, he told me, look, there are basically two options for you. One is that we're going to fire you. And the other one is that you're going to move and work for a sister company, like one of the companies in the group, but you cannot come to this office anymore because it's not the company's office. So you need to work from home. Back in 2013, that was very weird. It was like, working from home, like how? It was like, I don't know, but this is the only option. And I said, well, let's give it a try, right? The other option was to lose my job. So 1st of January 2014, I started working from home, and it was very weird that at the time. I remember my mom said, you're never going to get promoted because your manager won't see you in the office. My friends were like, how come you're going to work from home? So it was not a common thing almost 10 years ago, right? But very soon I not only got used to it, but I started enjoying. Definitely. So I went from working from home to traveling from time to time to, wanting to travel even more. And then I decided to start my own business. So there was all kinds of flexibility level and variation in those almost 10 years. But basically, it was not a choice at the very beginning. And then it was definitely the choice that I made, and I want to do that. And as I was evolving in my career, I decided to help people also to have more flexibility and to be able to work in the way that they want, in careers and jobs that they want, but also with the flexibility level that they want. So it was pretty much like I went through this journey, and I started wanting to help people to have the same flexibility level that I had. That's how I started helping people, helping professionals to land remote jobs also.
Nice. Where are you now? What country are you in now?
In Spain.
Spain. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were in Spain when we talked, and I was like,
yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been like 3 months.
She is a digital nomad.
Yeah, which means that I can work and travel at the same time, right? I have all the flexibility that I want. So I choose which country I want to go, for how long I want to stay, and I can work from there. Pretty much, I need my laptop and a good Wi-Fi connection, right, or data.
Yeah.
So this is something that I really like because I'm able to follow one of my passions, which is traveling,
Mhm.
and also my career. I really like what I do. I'm motivated. I'm ambitious. I want to make an impact with my job, but I didn't want to choose between traveling and or my career. So I was like, there gotta be a way to, combine those two things. I didn't want to take like a sabbatical year, or I didn't want to be living out of my savings. I wanted to keep developing my career, but at the same time develop other areas of my life that were important to me, including or mainly traveling. So working remotely allows me to do both things. And the way I see that for other people is that they might not want to travel, which is perfectly fine. This is not mandatory. But I have a lot of clients, Lauren, that, for example, have young kids and they want to pick up their kids at school. They want to have lunch with them,
That's me.
or someone that is taking care. Yeah, for example, or people who are taking care of their older parents and they need to be around or available, or people who have, I don't know, a house in the countryside and they want to go there from time to time and just be, quiet and, I don't know, enjoy the mountains or whatever. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what you care about. For me, what it matters is that you have a job and a career that supports the lifestyle that you want to have. It's a big shift from
Mhm.
having your life around work. So if your office is here, you live close by because the commuting is going to be faster, and then you find an apartment that is close, even if it's very expensive. You do all your social and personal stuff after work or on the weekend, because pretty much your life is, around work. But when you work remotely,
Yeah.
it's actually the other way around. You have your work and your career supporting the lifestyle that you want to have. So I prefer this way. Has been working out very, very well for me in the past 10 years almost.
Yeah. I love the lifestyle centric idea versus work centric because I think we don't, we've gotten so used to work centric that we don't think about it as no, this is something that we're choosing to do as opposed to how do I live my life and how can I fit my work in my life? Now, how can I fit my life around work?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sometimes we don't even think it is an option because we have been going to the office and then working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and that's it. And then we just squeeze everything on the weekend or at night if we're not super tired. So it's a change of mindset, but
Mhm.
it is possible and it's not an exception anymore. So it's pretty much the norm, or it's pretty much one option out there. And then you have the variations like a hybrid job also that might suit a lot of people, also a couple of days in the office and other days working from home and all of that. So I think finding the flexibility level that works for you,
Mhm.
that makes sense, and then find a job that will allow you to live like that.
So what I mean, you've been doing this for over 10 years. What have are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in that time, in that decade with remote?
Plenty. One of them is that it's not weird anymore to work remotely. As I said, when I started 10 years ago, people like surprised, scared. They were they didn't think it was going to work out. So now it's much more normal,
Mhm.
despite of the movements we have seen in the job market recently, right? Some companies forcing employees to go back to the office and all of that. But it's still, when you say now I work remotely or I have a hybrid job, people are like, oh, okay, I get it. Like they understand, they know what you're talking about. So it got more popular and known among people. This is something that changed a lot, definitely. Um, I think it's when you work remotely, you need to reconnect more with yourself because you need to be more intentional about the choices you
Yes.
make. So, for example, I remember when I was working in the office, I was every day having lunch with people from my department, from my company, right? Because you have the lunch break and then you just eat with them.
Mhm.
And sometimes I realized I had nothing common with them. With some of them, the only common thing was that we were working together, but we didn't have like personal connection or any common topic. So it was actually boring to
Yeah.
spend my lunchtime with them, and I had no choice. So now that I work remotely, I need to be more intentional about who do I spend time with. Do I want to have lunch with a friend? So I need to arrange that. I need to choose a friend, and I need to contact the person and arrange that. Do I want to have lunch alone, which is I also do, of course, most of the time, I would say, but that it's a choice. Or who do I want to meet after work? Because otherwise, this life can be a bit isolated, right? If you don't plan meeting people, you can be suffering from isolation. And some people say it's very lonely to work remotely. Well, only if you don't organize yourself well, because there are so many people working remotely, from co-working spaces, from coffee shops. You can meet friends and work together. So there are so many possibilities, but you need to arrange that. So you got to be more intentional about your choices, and also understand what you want to do with your life. How do you want to spend the extra time that you're going to get? Also,
Right.
like how to find balance between not working endless hours because there is nobody to tell you, hey, it's time to go home, you're closing the office, but like how to find those boundaries, which is also something that you can struggle with if you don't find a way. And the way will change from person to person, right? Some people like to keep working 9 to 5 and that's it. Other people like, I'm going to be more flexible. I want to take a nap after lunch, or I'm going to play with my kids when they come from school, and then I'm going to go back to work at 7 p.m. So finding this balance, or this situation, maybe it's not a balance, but finding the scenario that works out for you, that's your responsibility also, because there will be nobody telling you it's time to go to work or it's time to stop working. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different approach to work and life in general, I would say.
Yeah, my next question, that's a good segue. Or what are some of your biggest do's and don'ts about looking for a job or landing a job, a remote job?
Yeah, from the job seeker perspective, you
Yeah.
mean, right? Okay. Um, First, know what you want, because a very common mistake I see is that job seekers, they say, I want any kind of remote job. As far as the job is remote, I'm available, I'm ready to work. And it doesn't work like that, because companies will not hire you just because you want a remote job. That's not enough reason from the
Yeah.
company's perspective. And it might look like you are or desperate, like you don't really know what you want. You're praying your resume and trying whatever works out. And also it doesn't make you an attractive candidate, because you still need to be a good fit for the job you're
Mhm.
applying for. So forget about any kind of remote job. It's fine for me. It's not. I mean, it might be, but it won't lead you, like help you to get a job. So be specific, know what you want, and most likely it's going to be something that you have already experienced, or you have transferable skills that you can use. Or if you're changing careers, it's like the thing you want to do next. But you need to know what you're looking for before you even start the job search. So this is the first thing: be specific about what you want. Also, there is a lot of competition out there, right, for remote
Yes.
jobs. So it's common to see like a job that was posted, I don't know, 2, 3 days ago, and you have 500 applicants. So it can be like scary. And some people say, I won't even bother apply, because what is the point? So one way to overcome that is, if instead of applying for any remote job out there, you start narrowing down for remote companies. So you
Mhm.
map
Oh,
the options, like a funnel, like what are the remote companies out there in general. Then you narrow down to what remote companies offer the kind of position I'm looking for, or the service or the product I want to work with, the industry that I want to work with. So you already narrow down to less remote companies, but that are more aligned to you, to your values, to the kind of environment. Do you prefer a bigger company? Do you prefer a startup, a scale up, whatever? So you narrow down to remote companies, and then you can target your job search to those companies. So it's a way to narrow down. Very few people do that. They're like, I don't even know what are the remote companies available. Well, you gotta know, because you probably know about the office companies that you
mhm.
want to work for, because they're more popular, because you have seen people working there all your life. But if this remote work thing is new for you, start by knowing the companies, and then you can narrow down your job search to those companies. This also helps. And then another thing, it's find ways to stand out from other job seekers, because with the competition, crazy amount of people applying for remote jobs, if you just apply for jobs, um, the chances that you are you land the position are very small, right? Especially if you're just like using easy apply on LinkedIn, all the classics that we know that job seekers do to save time because they're overwhelmed, they don't have time and all of that. But if you just do what everyone else is doing, then the chances that you go for an interview and move forward are small. So there is a lot of things that you can do before applying for the job. So for example, attending events that the remote companies are offering. There are a lot of like online job fairs, seminars, networking events, or whatever they are organizing. Go there, start, let them know that you exist even before you apply for the job. So join their network, their activities. If they have a newsletter, for example, sign up for this newsletter, because sometimes they announce jobs on the newsletter, and then you can be one of the first people to know about it, right? Network intentionally with the hiring manager of the department you want to work for, with people doing the exactly job you're doing, your future work colleagues. So network with them even before there is a position available. So when you happen to apply for a job and they see your resume, they see your application, it's like, oh, Lauren, I know this girl, like we have spoken before. So you kind of get part of their ecosystem even before you apply for jobs. This way you stand out from others, and you're just not curriculum number 473 that applied using Easy Apply on LinkedIn. So finding ways to stand out from others.
So going back to what you were saying about remote companies, how would you find these companies? I imagine if you like Google remote companies, you probably won't get great results.
Well, you can Google them. You can search on LinkedIn for, like, you put your job title, for example. Let's imagine project manager, and then in the location you put remote and you click search, you're going to find a lot of jobs and all of that. So instead of focusing only on the jobs, which is one approach to it, focus on the company. What are the companies that are offering the position that I want to work for remotely? And then you go and you check the company's page on LinkedIn, their website, and you start understanding a bit more. What do they do? Which kind of companies this? What industry? What size? What do they offer? What is their product? What do they do? Like how they make money? And then you start identifying if there is one specific industry you want to work for, or a size of a company, or even the flexibility level. That's very important, because people think that all remote jobs are the same, Lauren, but they are not. So some remote jobs will allow you to work only from home, or from your city, or from your state. This is one level of flexibility. Others will allow you to work anywhere in the country. Others will allow you to work in a certain time zone. You're providing service, for example, New York time. Doesn't matter where you are as far as you're working in that time zone. Other companies, fewer of them actually, will allow you to work from anywhere in the world. So that's ideal for people like me who like to work and travel at the same time. So when you get to know the company, you understand the flexibility level they offer, and then you can ask yourself, is this the flexibility level that I'm looking for? Back to the lifestyle that we were talking before, right? If I want to be able to pick up my kids at school and spend time with them at home, I don't need a remote company and a job that offers me flexibility to travel the world, because there are less and there is more competition for that. I'm okay with the work from home setup, but if I want to travel from time to time, then I need to figure out another setup. So when you get to know the company, you understand if what they offer, the remote work arrangement that they offer, suits you. And then it makes more sense that you narrow down your job search to those companies pretty much, and you don't waste your time apply for companies that I want to travel, and then this one I need to work only in the US, in this state. It doesn't suit me. So why are you wasting your time with that? So know what you want, and then you find those companies. But back to what I was saying, searching on LinkedIn could be a good way, using specific remote job boards, and you do the same thing. Instead of focusing only on the job title, the positions available, you understand what are the remote companies that are posting jobs, they are hiring for jobs, and then you understand which kind of company it is, what do they offer, flexibility level, departments, what do they do, industry, and all of that.
Okay, that's really good tips. Basically, do your research. Know yourself and do your research.
Exactly. Which is the opposite of any remote job suits me. No, not really. Not really. You need to know how you want to live. There is this exercise that I like to do with my clients also. It's like a letter from your future self. So you write a letter as if you were 10 years ahead, say August 2024, right? 2032.
Yeah.
30, oh my goodness.
33.
33, yes, yeah, 10 years from now. Yeah, I'm not very good with math, as you can see. August 2033. And then you describe how your life is looking like. What time do you wake up? Where are you? What do you do early in the morning? Do you go for an exercise? Do you go for a run? Do you read? Do you play with your dogs, with your kids? Do you have breakfast? Do you work nonstop, like in deep mode? Whatever it is. And then with whom you have lunch? What do you do in the afternoon? How are you using your time? And then when you understand that, there's this kind of a guidance for the steps you need to take to get there. And again, a remote job can perfectly support you to live the best way you want, the way you want to live, as far as you make the right choices regarding the company, the flexibility level, the job, and all of that. So think about the future and then walk backwards, like which kind of remote job today will help me to get the lifestyle I want to get in the future. How can I live my best life right now and still take care of my career and still make money and still make an impact and, grow and learn and all of that.
I love that. Figure out how much flexibility there is, because I think people don't think about that as much. Like, what's the actual level of flexibility? They think in the office, hybrid, remote. And so remote means everywhere, but it really doesn't mean everywhere. So it's so important to find out what level that flexibility is.
Exactly. And see what you need. You might not need all the flexibility in the world, or not for now. You have younger kids, so just get a job that let you work from home. That's it. And then you can change in the future. You can, I don't know, negotiate more flexibility, but don't overcomplicate things. And I also like to take the approach of it doesn't need to be a perfect job, like the job you're going to spend the rest of your life. I'm going to retire in this job. It doesn't need to be like that. It can be a remote job that offer the minimum things that you're looking for, like a minimum salary range, minimum of flexibility level, a work environment that is healthy, that you can grow, that you enjoy, and that's it. So I don't know, sometimes we overcomplicate, or we think that it's like it's all or nothing. So if I don't get a remote job that allows me to travel the world, it's not for me. Do you want to travel the world? No, not really. So don't.
I want to be able to, though.
Exactly. So why going for that? So it's like dreaming, as I said, this letter from your future self. It's all about dreaming and manifesting, understanding what you care about, but also like, how can I make this real for me today with the options that I have? So it's one step at a time. And I believe that we grow, as I said, like I started 2014 working from home only. Then slowly I start traveling from time to time. And then I wanted to travel more. And then I was negotiating that with my company. Then I was changing companies. And then I decided to start my own business to be fully flexible and have, complete control, autonomy regarding my schedule. But it was not like this at the beginning. So sometimes we see people, it's like, oh my goodness, that seems so easy. It was not easy. There was a lot of choices and ups, and it's not a linear path as it might look. I don't know if it looks like that, but definitely it was not. And like the career transitions I made on the way, they were tough, like quitting my remote job to start my own business. I took like 2 years in this transition, like figuring out and creating another source of income. So I think if you want something, you're going to find a way to get there. If you don't really want that, you're going to find an excuse or say it's too much competition. It's very hard to get a job. I applied for 3 or 4 and I didn't get it. I mean, you can stay in this negative, or you can like, okay, how can I, ask for help maybe to get there? How can I speed up the process? How can I get an outsider perspective that might bring some light to something that I cannot see? Or what I also see very often, or you probably see the same, it's like the job seeker say like, I have done everything already. I optimize my resume, my LinkedIn profile, I'm applying for job. I've done everything. I was like, okay, what is the result you get? No, I'm not getting good results. I was like, whatever you're doing, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not correct because, and it's not me saying that, it's you saying that, because if you're not achieving the results you want, you got to do something different. The same thing applies for remote job, but now it applies for every career move
Yeah.
that you want to make, right? So don't hide behind this, I'm already doing everything that I can. Well, then you need to change your strategy, because if you're not achieving the results you want, you can just complain about it, or you can take a different approach. So yeah, I'm very practical in the things I
Yes.
do. If it's not working, we need to try something different.
If you
Right.
want something different, you have to do something different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
speaking of asking for help, can you let people know how to get in contact with you? Do you have any programs coming up that people can join?
Yeah. So people can reach out to me on LinkedIn, for example, Juliana Rabbi, Rabbi. That's my surname. I have one-on-one career coaching programs. I have group mentoring. Actually, I'm starting one in middle September. So timing is perfect for that. The 2 months, yeah, it's a 2 months group program. We have weekly calls. There is a lot of material available in the platform, checklists, pre-recorded videos, and all of that. So it's a very nice way, because people tend to feel very lonely when they're doing job searching, right? So it's normally a lonely and challenging journey. So when we do it in a group, there is this support, accountability. So it's a really nice, healthy, and even fun environment. So I'm starting the group mentoring in middle September. I also have online courses and like more punctual programs. So yeah, I have different options, different access to me, different formats. Yeah, no excuse. There will be for sure a way that
Yes.
I can help people in
Yes.
their remote job search.
And you're
Yeah.
fabulous. But okay, so I know you said this is starting in a couple of weeks, mid-September.
Yeah.
If people want to learn more about it, is there a website? Are you like
There is a
having
website.
a
Yeah.
live, for instance?
Can you share the link? I can give the
Yeah,
website.
I think I can.
Or maybe I can share with you and you can leave on the comments for the
Yes,
live. Let's do
yes.
that. Yeah. Yeah, the website. That would be nice. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming this week and sharing your knowledge and your expertise, because I get so many clients who are like, I want to work remotely. And so it's been not only just a general pleasure because you're awesome, but it's been so informative for myself and also I'm sure for our audience. Um, and next week, I'm not going to have a guest. It's just going to be a blog post. I'm talking about something. But thank you so much for joining us and wish you the best with your launch. And we'll include the link in the posting for this video. And we'll let people know about it and stuff.
Amazing, Lauren. Thanks for the invitation once again. I hope it was
You
content was helpful. And
so
yeah,
much.
looking forward to another chat in the future. Why not?
Yes. Yes. All right. All right. See you guys next week.
See you. Bye.
Okay.